NLW-TV. We're just out and about, you know, walking around the woods, do some survival videos for you guys today. Just here collecting a bit of old dry birch bark, putting it in a bag for later on. We'll get a fire going, maybe have a shelter and a cook-up. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Tune in. Alright, welcome back. We're just preparing some splits for the fire. I got my tinder and kindling. One of the good things I forgot to mention is as you're collecting this stuff, like, don't pass it up when you're walking through a trail. You see it, grab it, put it in the bag, put it in your pocket, because it might not be where you're going. And also, I got mine in a bag inside my clothes in a pocket. Keep it warm, dry it out a bit more. But if you have it in a plastic bag, like a Ziploc, you want to keep it open so if anything, like any condensation happens, it can escape. You know, because you ever see you put something in a plastic bag and you have it where it's warm, it sweats and it gets wet, so it defeats the purpose. But that's what you want to do. Get your splits going, and we'll be back in a minute, and we'll have a fire hopefully. That happens from time to time, but you know, what do you do?
Now this is, believe it or not, some wood we found as we were coming by. So, no, we didn't bring wood into the woods with us, guys.
Like I said, you find it, don't pass it up.
Now we're going to show you a technique now in a few minutes called batoning. It works perfectly to help you with splits.
If you don't have an axe.
That's right. So tune in a few minutes and we'll get that set up and ready to go.
Okay, so batoning is a great way to make smaller pieces of firewood when you don't have something like an axe. So you can turn something like this to something like this. All you need is a heavy stick. You can use them skinny, sometimes they'll break off after you use them, just get a new one. But all you gotta do, you take a knife, put it on it, select your size, you know, depending on where you place your blade, and you just spawn in the knife, follow it through. So you can do it just a little piece, or you can put it right in the middle and split it right down. And it also works if you want to use a big log. Take off the corners. And like I said, it'll still work. So it doesn't matter the size. And you can select, and then once you get your main pieces done, you can shave them down with your knife. Get your tinder, your kindling, whatever you need. Make some feather sticks.
Do you want to explain what a feather stick is?
Feather stick is what it does, it takes a larger piece of wood and you carve down into it. Like, that's too big of a piece, but when you carve them, you cut them on to curl over. So that way, when you're doing it, and you got your fire going, these little pieces will catch and bring all the heat and the flame into the center to get your fire going good and get your bigger sticks going.
So you're basically making tinder.
That's right, but it's already attached to your main piece of wood, so you don't have to worry about your placement. It's already going to wick the fire right up into it.
Perfect.
And it worked great, and back in a minute we'll get our fire going.
Alright guys, we're here now. We're just put up a little windbreak here to get us out of the cold wind today. It's pretty breezy. We also are build a platform to put our fire on, just to keep the cold rocks from sucking the heat away so that we can actually produce a flame today. Since we're not using matches or a lighter, we're going to be using a ferro rod. Ferro rod is just a piece of magnesium stick, and that you can throw a spark from. So it's pretty interesting. It's great for in a survival kit, because even if it's raining out, it'll still throw sparks.
Plus we got a little bit of lint, just dryer lint, put in there.
Now, I don't know if you can really pick that out, but it's right
on top
here.
Of a pile of birch bark.
Right here is the dryer lint, and dryer lint is highly combustible. So, but it doesn't take up any space in your pack. So it's great to have in there as a fire starter. And the standby birch bark is always given. So without further ado, I'm going to let Harry do the honors of sparking this up and see how she goes.
We also got our other firewood and kindling and tinder.
That's right. There's our kindling. This is the secondary. This is the primary. Sorry. Fuel source that we're going to start off with. We start off with something that's less than the size of a pencil. Then we're going to move up to a little bit bigger, and then we're going to.
We probably won't sticks to throw on.
Use all of this wood today because we're only going to be here for about an hour or so, and but we got enough firewood here to probably give us about an hour's use. So without further ado, let's get to the fire. As you can tell, it's starting to... There we go. And now, with that, just gently put in the kindling. We're off to the races.
That birch bark burns pretty hot too with the resin, isn't it?
Yes, that's one of the things that makes it a great fire starter. Now you don't want to choke it right off the bat, so we're going to move this around so we get the flames in the right direction and get that kindling.
Smaller pieces you got in there.
And we'll be back in a few moments. Hopefully with a raging fire.
And something to eat.
Yes, the main purpose of this fire today.
We gotta warm up our little pup too. He's pretty cold. He's after jumping in some water.
Alright.
Geez, it's starting to boil already.
Well, there's our fire, guys. We put a little griddle on it that we found. Again, we didn't bring anything except for the pots, so...
Yeah, and this... I got this nice little... it's an old French mess kit. It's from like 1950s or something like that. But yeah, all this folds together. It's the best mess kit I found. Paid $10 for it. So if you want one, you can look online.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can find a link for you to go find it. And look, it's only been on for a few minutes and
starting to boil.
Starting to boil already. So
you know, like those little camp stoves and stuff, they're great.
And I mean, you know, we do use a lot in the winter time, or especially the summertime if we're going for alcohol stoves when the fire season's on, when you can't produce a small fire. But
it's cold out today too. Like it's been raining for 2 days straight, so
this is what you want, right? A little open fire. There's nothing that puts heat back into your bones after a hard day in the woods. But anyway,
smoke, huh? It's been too much heat.
I'm going to tune her back out again, and hopefully in a few minutes we'll have something neat and show you what it looks like. Alright.
Alright guys, we're winding down here now. Our fire's getting down. We're getting ready to pack it in. We didn't get a chance to get to shelter today. We got prior engagements we got to get to. But a few things we left out. One is when you're striking a ferro rod, you make your fire, you want to use the back of your knife so as not to dull the edge. Also, this where we're to now is not the best ideal spot for survival shelter because it's kind of open around here. If you want, but when you're making a survival shelter, you got to think of a lot of things like placement of water. You want to have water not more than 100 meters so from where you're camped out. You want to think of wind. How exposed are you? You want to think of the ground. What's on the ground? Is it rocky? Is it soggy? If there's a hill, because if it decides to rain, you don't want to get wet. Just think about things like that before you pick your campsite, because you don't want to spend all your time and effort building shelter and realize you're going to get soaking wet and freezing cold. Alright guys, this is Harry and Ed for NL-TV. Have a good one, over and out.
It's important, guys, to have this completely out. So we're going to pour some more water on it and get it to where we can put our fingers in it without getting any heat back. So with that, everything's done. Thanks for watching.
you.